everybody. Welcome back to our Fruit of the Spirit series. This class is all about patience. So I'm going to have one scripture reading and one quote that we'll do at the beginning and the end. Pay attention if you want. If you don't, that's fine. Otherwise, our class will be centered on finding more time in a pose maybe than you would want to, or also just being patient with yourselves in these transitions that are a little tricky and that you need to slow down for. That's the theme. All right, so our scripture reading is Ecclesiastes 7, verse 8. Better is the end of a thing than its beginning, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. And then our quote is by Edmund Burke. Our patience will achieve more than our force. So those are our little readings for today. And we'll get started in bound ankle pose. So you'll sit on your sit bones and then have the soles of your feet touching in the center. So kind of like a butterfly pose if you grew up doing any type of sport. And then hands on your ankles. Inhale, we're going to come into a cow tilt. So bring your chest through your shoulders, arch through your spine, drop your head back, and exhale, round through your spine, curl in. Inhale, cow tilt. Exhale, cat tilt. 3 more with your breath. Good. Exhale, curl and squeeze everything in. And then come back to a neutral spine. And then just extend your left leg out straight. Bring the sole of your right foot into the inner seam of the left thigh. So coming into Janu Shirshasana, inhale, walk your fingertips out in front of you, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, take a gentle fold. So no need to really pry or pull ourselves down. We're just getting warmed up. Now on your next inhale, rise back up and actively engage your left hip flexor to lift your left foot off the ground without leaning back too much. Exhale, release it back down. Plant your right hand behind you. Inhale, push through left heel and right knee. Sweep left arm overhead for this sort of wild thing planted variation. And then exhale, bring your left hand to the mat. So for a nice twist. If this is too much, just stay in the wild thing. Inhale, wild thing again. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold over your left knee. Inhale, rise up, lift your left heel. Actively engage that hip. Exhale, release. Plant your right hand behind you. Inhale, lift your hips up to the sky. Exhale, twist, so left hand lands on the mat. Inhale, wild thing. Exhale, back to center. One more time on this side. Inhale, walk your fingertips out, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, gentle fold. Inhale, torso lifts, heel lifts. Exhale, release. Plant your right hand behind you, lift your pelvis up. Left arm sweeps overhead, and then exhale, twist that left hand down. Inhale, circle it open, and exhale, plant your bottom down. And then we'll switch sides. So have your right leg extended long, left sole of the foot is on the inner thigh. Walk your fingertips out towards your right foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, gentle fold. We're actively using our core and our compression to get there. Inhale, lift your torso, and then engage your right hip flexor to lift your right heel. Exhale, drop. Inhale, plant left hand behind you, sweep right arm overhead for this wild thing variation. And then exhale, twist, land your right hand down. Inhale, circle it open again, chest towards the sky, and then exhale, sit your hips down. 2 more times on this side. Inhale for length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift heel, lift chest. Exhale, release. Left hand plates behind you. Right arm circles and sweeps open, wild thing variation. Exhale, plant your right hand. Come into that twist for your upper spine. Inhale, wild thing again. And exhale, slowly drop your hips. Inhale, elongate. Exhale, fold. Inhale, engage your hip, lift your heel. Exhale, release. Plant your left hand. Inhale, open your hips to the sky, wild thing. Exhale, twist right hand down. Inhale, up towards the ceiling again. And exhale, release. Good. So then we're gonna just find our way to the top of our mats, whatever way works for you, and rise up to Tadasana. So widen your toes, feel weight in all four corners of your feet. Slight bend in your knees. Then inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, chair plank. So you're sitting back into your heels, bending your knees, and then arms sweep behind you as your chest connects to your thighs. Inhale, Tadasana, upward salute. Exhale, chair pose. Bend down, belly connects to thighs. On this last one, lift your left leg up with your arms. And then step it out behind you. We're coming into goddess pose. So our toes are out, our heels are in. And then we sink low into this squat. Hands at heart center. Take a moment just to settle here. Then on your inhale, bring your arms out to the side, straighten into your knees. And then trunk is parallel to the floor. Exhale, bend into your squat again. Hands at heart center. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, squat. Inhale, airplane arms. Spine is parallel to the floor. Exhale, sit into your squat. Now we'll move into some side bends. So place your right hand on the inside of your left thigh. Inhale, open. Your left arm overhead, really stretching through the left side body. And exhale, drape the arms in front of you. We'll move to the other side. Inhale, right arm, right shoulder peels open. Exhale, drag through the center. Inhale, left arm overhead, twist open. Exhale, everything heavy through the center. Open that right shoulder, nice side bend. Almost done here, but stay patient. I know you're burning. One more on each side. Stay patient in this pose. Good, back through center. And then we'll stay in the squat for just a couple breaths. Squat deeper. And release. Good job. Step to the top of your mat. And big release. We'll move into something a little similar. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, chair plane. Connect belly to thighs, arms sweep back. Inhale, upward salute. Add a back bend if you want. Exhale, chair plane. This last one, lift your right knee up with your arms. And then step it out to face the wide edge of the mat. We're coming into goddess again. Hands at heart center. Sink your hips low. Inhale, straighten knees, send arms out to the side. Spine is flat. And exhale, sit back into your squat. 2 more with your breath. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. Now walk your hands in front of you. And we're just going to drop our knees. So both knees are going to face to the left now. You're coming onto the ball of your right foot. And then we'll just switch sides. So right toes point out. Left knee drops down as you swivel onto the ball of that foot. 2 more on each side. Try to make it smooth as you can. Kind of a funky movement. And I know those quads are burning. 1 more on each side. Drop the right knee down. Fingertips are stretching long in front of you. 1 more. Drop the left knee down. Ball of the foot swivels. Find your way back in your goddess. Sit as low as you can for 3 breaths. last one. And release. Woo! I hate being patient in that pose. All right, good job, guys. So now we're gonna move into a more grounded level vinyasa. Well, has a little bit of everything. So inhale, sweep your arms overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Drape the body down heavy. Inhale, fingertips to shins, flat spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step back through your plank, and then lower either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, send your hips high. We won't be here too long, but this is a nice one, so just take a minute to walk out the dog. Good. Roll your weight forward into plank. Lower into chaturanga. Flip over your toes. We're going to find upward facing dog. And let's just stay here. This is not a pose that we are normally patient in. Might not be too comfortable for you. If you have any significant pain, don't stay in it, but push through both palms. Roll the inner thighs up to the sky and reach your chest forward through your shoulders. Lift your thighs from the mat. And then roll back into downward facing dog. Good. Through these next vinyasas, when we come into upward facing dog, I want you to stay on the ball of your feet. So don't flatten the tops of your feet to the mat. You're going to stay tucked in your toes. So let's walk to the left edge of the mat. Roll into plank. Lower into chaturanga. Then come into upward facing dog. Pluck your left toes off. So we're in this bent position. And then you're going to lift your hips high as you flip your dog over and then land that right or those left toes behind you. So we're sinking our hips down into a half splits. Inhale for length and exhale, fold for a few breaths. So that's why we wiggled over to the edge of our mat so that we didn't end up on the hardwood floor or wherever you are. We want to stay on our mat for this one to protect our feet. Inhale for length. Exhale, fold. You can have your hands in front of you, pulling on that foot gently, or you can have them behind you, kind of pressing forward. One more breath. Good, now bend into your right knee. You're gonna end up at the back of your mat, and then step back into plank pose. Walk over to the right edge. Shift your weight forward, shoulders past fingertips, lower, down into chaturanga. Flip into upward dog, but keep your toes tucked. And then pluck your right leg off the mat. So we're hanging out in this for a second. And then you're gonna push through your hands, send your hips high, flip your dog over so that you land on the top of the right foot and the right shin into this half splits variation. So again, just take a few breaths here. Lengthen through the back of your left hamstring. If you like this variation better, by all means you can do that. This is kind of where we land, so this is where I'm going to hang out. Good, bend into your left knee, plant into your left foot, come to the front of your mat again. Both hands are strong, step back through plank, lower into chaturanga, normal upward facing dog. Flip over your toes, downward facing dog. Now walk to the left edge of your mat. Roll your spine forward into plank. Keep your toes tucked for this one, lower chaturanga. Upward facing dog, pluck your left toes off the mat. Send your hips high. And then flip your dog briefly into our half splits. Land that left foot down. And then bend into your front knee right away. And we'll hang out in runner's lunge here. You can come up onto tented fingertips or plant your palms. You can use a block under your hand if you need. Spend some time just opening through the groin, through the front of your left hip. One more breath. Good, plant through both palms. Step your right foot back. Walk your plank to the right. Send your weight forward. Lower into chaturanga, bend at 90 degrees. Flip into upward facing dog, toes tucked. Then pluck your right toes off the mat. Push through palms, send hips high. Flip your dog, land on the right shin and top of right foot into half splits, but then push forward. Runner's lunge at the top of your mat. So have patience with yourself through these transitions that you probably haven't done before. Something a little different. No need to get frustrated. Treat yourself as you would treat someone else with patience. Hopefully in a good way. Unless you're hungry. Good, one more breath here. And then step left foot back to plank. We'll move through a normal vinyasa. So lower into your chaturanga, flip over your toes for upward facing dog, pull the chest through, and exhale, send your hips high, downward facing dog. Good job. Walk on over to the left. Inhale, lift your heels, roll through your spine, forward through plank. Keep your toes tucked, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, pluck your left toes off. Send your hips high, flip your dog into your little half split. Stay on the top of your left foot as you lean forward here. So we're gonna rise into a high lunge version on the top of your left foot. So press down into your right heel, lift your arms overhead. Let your breath carry you through. Inhale, reach your fingertips high. Exhale, bend and lower, but don't quite touch. Inhale, push through right heel. Exhale, bend and lower, but don't quite touch. 3 more with your breath. Should feel the hips getting really open here. Good. Lower your hands and then step back into plank. Walk yourself over to the right. Shift forward, lower into chaturanga. Keep your toes tucked inward or upward facing dog. Pluck your right toes up. Send your hips high, flip your dog, land the right top of the foot, stay on the right top of the foot. Move through your runner's lunge. Situate your feet and then rise up to high lunge. So inhale, fingertips reach high. Exhale, lower but not all the way, 5 times. Inhale, push through left heel. Exhale, right hip, right thigh sinks down. One more. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, lower down. Plant both hands. Step back into plank pose. And then move through your normal vinyasa. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, rise up into the balls of your feet, roll your spine forward. And then come through plank, walk your hands to the left, your feet to the left. Bend your elbows 90 degrees, lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, keep your toes tucked. Pick your left toes up. Push hard through palms, lift hips high, flip your dog over so you land on the top of that left foot. Be patient, take your time. And then move into that high lunge variation again. So walk your hands forward, stay on the top of your left foot. Inhale, reach your arms high, gather your inner thighs together, strong through your core. And we'll just do 3 here. So exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. And on this last one, push through your right foot. Bring your left knee high. And then we're going to come into standing pigeon. So your left ankle crosses over your right knee. Kind of a figure 4 shape. And then start to sink your hips back, really opening through the outer left glute. You can have your torso stay upright, or you can fold for a few breaths, whatever feels good here. somewhat of a rest. Those glutes and quads are getting a lot of work, so it feels good to stretch them. Now, start to heel toe, wiggle your right foot over to the right. We're gonna come into flamingo. So you're wrapping your left arm around your left shin and knee so that it reaches behind your thigh. Then your right arm reaches behind your back and you clasp hands. So you're kind of capturing that left knee. And then we're gonna do a different variation where we push, straighten through your right leg, be patient, rise up to this standing flamingo variation. You fall, get back up. Now patience as we lower down into malasana, but keep the bind. So bending slowly into the right knee, you're gonna plant your left foot down, come into that wide squat malasana, and keep the bind. Good job. Definitely not easy. So here, wiggle around a little bit. You can widen your feet out if you need. And then with the bind, your chest should be opening up to the right. Clasping hands together to open more. Sinking hips low to get into the inner groin. Now we're gonna come into Marichyasana C. So this part's a little tricky. You're gonna try to slowly lower onto your bottom and extend your right leg long in front of you. So do it as slow and patient as you can. I haven't quite found a way to not plop, but do your best. Slightly plop. All right, keep that bind still. We're staying in this longer than maybe you would expect or want. And then nice twist open to the right. So sole of left foot is planted still. And right leg extends long. Twist open, one more breath. Good, and then release your arms. Tuck your right foot underneath you. And we're gonna find our way just into a plank on this side. So walk your hands over to the right. Shift your weight forward. Bend your elbows to 90 degrees. Chest pulls through for upward dog. Keep the toes tucked. Pluck the right toes up. And then send the hips high. Push through the palms. Flip your dog. Land on top of right foot and right shin. Walk your hands forward. Bend into your left knee. We're going to come into high lunge with those pulses. So gather your thighs. Navel into spine. Push through left heel. Rise up. Inhale, stretch those fingertips long. Exhale, bend. 3 times here. Inhale, long. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, deepen that lunge. Now push through your left foot. Reach your right knee up. Come into standing pigeon figure 4. So right ankle over left knee. Right knee pulls out to the side and send your hips low. Now stay upright or come into a fold. Good. Wiggle heel toe your left foot over to the left to make space for your squat. Now come into your flamingo bind. So right arm wraps around front of right shin and knee. So you capture that knee and comes behind you as your left hand meets it behind your back. Really balance yourself through your left foot. Nice and slow. Then as you're able, extend through your right leg, straighten it up. I'll stay here for a couple breaths. Try to lift your chest as high as you can. And then we're going to slowly bend into our left knee, coming towards Malasana, but keep the bind the whole time, if you can. Patience is a virtue. Good job. Almost there. Whoop, lost it at the end. Okay, land it down softly if you can. And then just wiggle in your malasana, find your footing, and then open the chest to the left. Nice full breaths, just a moment to slow down here. Sit deep in your squat and peel your left shoulder open. We're gonna have a chance to practice that transition one more time on each side. So if you didn't get it, be patient with yourself and try again. Okay, now we're gonna come into Marichasana C. So try to lower onto your hips and extend your left leg in front of you while keeping the bind around your right knee. So kind of like that. Plant the sole of your right foot down. Nice open twist. So let your lower spine grow tall instead of collapsing down like I was doing. One more breath. Good. Bend into both knees. Find your way into plank at the top of your mat. One more time through this sequence. So walk your plank to the left edge. Exhale, lower down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Oops, keep your toes tucked. And then flip your left leg over. Land on that shin and top of foot. Bend in your right knee, walk your hands forward. And then inhale, rise up. And then exhale, come straight into standing pigeon. So we're skipping the pulses. Find your standing pigeon. Heel toe your foot over to the right. Find your flamingo bind. So wrap left arm around left knee and right arm behind back. Clasp fingertips. Push strong through right leg, rise up. Almost done, guys, you're doing good. Nice, extend your chest. Extend your leg as straight as you can. Roll the shoulders back. And then slowly transition, slowly, into Malasana with your bind. Lowering left foot down. Whoop. There we go, good job. Okay, let your breath slow a little bit. This is meant to be more of a calm, gentle stretch here. Good, sit your bottom down and extend your right leg long, as gracefully as you can. Open your chest to the right. Couple breaths here. Letting the heart rate slow. Now unwrap your hands and just find a nice forward fold. You can come into Janu Shasana if you want to place your right knee or left knee towards the mat. Inhale, elongate your spine, and exhale, fold. One more breath. Big releasing exhale. One more little sequence here. Just got to finish it up on the other side. So find your way into plank facing the back of your mat. Walk your hands to the right. Keep toes tucked the whole time. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Lift those right toes. Push hard through palms. Send hips high. Flip your dog. Land on the top of your right foot and shin. Bend into your front leg. Walk those hands forward. Inhale, high lunge. And then exhale, just step into your standing pigeon. Right ankle over left knee. Let's take a nice folded variation here for a couple breaths. And then heel toe, your left foot over. Find your flamingo bind if you can. Wrap your right tricep over your right shin, body parts, and then your left hand behind your back. Take your time, don't rush this. Good, and then stand strong through your left leg. Chest lifts, right knee comes out to the side. One more breath. Good, and then slowly bend into your left leg. We're lowering into Malasana, keep the bind. A lot of work on that left glute and quad. Dink, toes come down. Wiggle into your Malasana. And let the breath slow as you open your chest to the left. Cleansing exhales. And if this is something you can't get right away, stick with it. Try again. Try a couple times a week. Use your breath to center you. Good, now sit onto your bottom and extend your left leg out. Slightly gracefully. Couple breaths with the bind. And then release your arms. Come into Janu Shasana, just where we started. Inhale, elongate your spine. And exhale, fold. So everything kind of circled back around to that pose we started with. But let it be a little more sweet now, a little more open, a little more melty. Couple more breaths. I guess actually we technically started with bound angle, Baddha Konasana, so let's do that. Face the front or side of your mat, soles of the feet touch, knees splay out wide, hands wrap underneath your feet. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, and exhale, fold. One more breath. So feel free to lay down into Shavasana if you have time for that. Otherwise, cross your legs in front of you, hands on your knees, one big inhale together. One final exhale. Hands meet at heart center. Namaste. All right, guys, thank you for joining for this patience-based practice. I know it had us staying in goddess pose or some of these binds a little longer than maybe was comfortable, and it had us working through some tough transitions where you had to be patient, slow down, use your breath. So try to take some of those ideas as you go. We're gonna read our scripture and quote one more time. So our quote was, "Our patience will achieve more than our force." It's a good one. And then our scripture, Ecclesiastes, "Better is the end of a thing than its beginning, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit." So I hope you loved that class. Please continue on this series with me and share it with your friends, like it, comment if you thought anything about it, and I will see you next time.